If you've been eating less, skipping meals, cutting carbs, reducing portions, and the scale still won't move, or worse, you're gaining fat, listen carefully, because this video will explain what's really happening inside your body. And I want you to stay until the end, because the most important part of this video is the final explanation. It's the one thing almost nobody understands, and once you get it, you stop blaming yourself and you finally know what to do next. If you leave early, you'll miss the exact reason this keeps happening and how to fix it. Now, the title of this video is Why Eating Less is Making You Fatter, and I know that sounds impossible. Because we were taught one simple rule: eat less, lose weight. But if that rule worked the way people think it does, then anyone who cut calories would automatically get leaner. And that is not what we see in real life. People diet hard, eat tiny portions, remove foods, increase cardio, and they still get stuck. Some even end up fatter than before. So what's going on? Here's the truth. Eating less can absolutely help you lose fat, but only under specific conditions. And when those conditions are missing, your body doesn't respond by burning fat. It responds by adapting, slowing down, and protecting energy. In other words, your body becomes more efficient, and efficiency during dieting means one thing: holding on to fat and making hunger stronger. This is not because your body is broken. It's because your body is doing what it was designed to do. The human body is not a calculator. It is a survival system. For most of human history, food was unpredictable. When food disappeared, the body learned to protect you. It learned to reduce energy, increase appetite, and store fat whenever possible. So when you eat less, your body doesn't just see fat loss. It also sees risk. And the longer you stay in that risk, the stronger the survival response becomes. This is the first reason why eating less can make you fatter. Your metabolism adapts downward. Let's simplify that. When you reduce food, your body reduces its energy output. You burn fewer calories at rest. You unconsciously move less. You feel more tired. Even your body temperature and your spontaneous activity can drop without you noticing it. This is why two people can eat the same low calories and get different results. One might lose fat, and the other might stall completely, because the stalled person's body has adapted harder. And here's the dangerous moment. When progress slows, most people do the worst thing possible. They cut even more food. They think, okay, I'll skip breakfast. Then, I'll remove carbs. Then, I'll do more cardio. And yes, sometimes the scale moves for a short period, which makes you believe you're doing the right thing. But that short-term movement can be misleading because the body is still adapting. Eventually, you hit a wall. At that wall, fat loss doesn't just slow down. It can shut down, and you start experiencing things like constant hunger, cravings, irritability, poor sleep, low energy, and feeling obsessed with food. This isn't weakness. It's your biology screaming that it feels unsafe. Now, the second reason eating less can make you fatter is something most people completely ignore: stress hormones. When you diet aggressively, your body experiences stress. That stress increases cortisol. And when cortisol stays elevated for too long, it can make fat loss harder, increase water retention, worsen sleep, and push the body towards storing fat, especially around the belly. So you could be eating less and still feel softer, still feel bloated, still see the scale behave in confusing ways. This is why people say, I'm eating so little and I'm still not losing weight. Sometimes, the body isn't losing because it's holding water due to stress. And sometimes it isn't losing because metabolism is suppressed. And often it's both. Let me repeat something that matters. You cannot bully your body into fat loss forever. You might force it for a short time, but biology always collects the payment later. Now here's the third reason, and it's huge. When calories stay too low, you don't only lose fat. You can lose muscle. And muscle is not just for looking good. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, and the easier it is to stay lean. But when you diet too hard, especially with low protein, your body breaks down muscle. That means your metabolism gets even slower. Now you need fewer calories than before just to maintain your weight. So what happens when you eventually go back to normal eating? Your body regains weight quickly, and because muscle was lost, more of that regained weight becomes fat. This is how aggressive dieting can literally make you fatter in the long run, even if it made you lighter in the short run. This is why so many people feel like their body is getting worse over time. They diet, lose, regain, diet again, lose again, regain again. Each cycle can reduce metabolism and increase fat regain risk. Now, a lot of people hear this and think, okay, so I should never eat less. No, that's not the message. The message is, eating less without strategy is what causes the damage. Fat loss requires a deficit, but a sustainable deficit, a smart deficit, one that respects recovery. And that brings us to what most people never do, maintenance phases. Let me explain maintenance in a way that makes sense. Maintenance is when you stop trying to lose weight and you stop trying to diet harder, and instead you eat enough to keep your weight stable for a period. The purpose is not to gain fat. The purpose is to send a signal of safety to the body so it can recover. During maintenance, several things happen. Hormones stabilize, stress levels drop, sleep improves, training performance improves, hunger becomes more manageable, and your metabolism can climb back up. Then, when you return to fat loss, your body responds better. This is why professionals do not stay in a deficit forever. They cycle phases. That's how they stay lean long-term without destroying their energy and mental health. Quick reminder before we continue. The most important part is still coming at the end, because I'm going to explain the one simple principle that determines whether your body treats dieting as safe or as danger. That principle is the missing key for people who keep getting stuck. Now, let's talk about a sneaky reason people eat less and still get fatter: healthy overeating. Many people cut meals, then snack on calorie-dense foods that don't satisfy them. Nuts, peanut butter, olive oil, smoothies, protein bars, granola, even healthy desserts. These foods can be fine, but they are incredibly easy to overconsume without feeling full. So someone might say, I barely eat, but their calories are coming from small, dense snacks. And because protein is low, they are hungry all day, so they snack more. Then they feel guilty and restrict more. Then hunger gets worse, and the cycle continues. That's why protein is a game changer. Protein helps preserve muscle while dieting. It increases satiety. It reduces cravings. It keeps hunger manageable. Two people can eat the same calories, but the one with higher protein will feel more stable and lose fat more reliably. But even protein can't fix the problem if the deficit is too aggressive for too long, because your body can only tolerate stress for so long before it fights back. Another major reason eating less backfires is psychological rebound. When restriction becomes extreme, the brain starts obsessing over food. Your cravings get louder. Your decision-making becomes weaker, not because you're undisciplined, but because your brain is trying to protect you from starvation. This is why binge eating often follows extreme dieting, and it's why people lose control after being good all week. The problem is not that they're weak. The problem is that they're starving themselves in a way that the brain cannot tolerate. Now here's a powerful mindset shift. The goal of fat loss is not to see how little you can eat. The goal is to find the highest amount of food you can eat while still losing fat. That is real success. Because the more you can eat while losing fat, the easier it is to stay consistent. The easier it is to stay consistent, the more results you get. This is why slow, structured fat loss beats extreme dieting every single time. Now we're getting close to the most important part, so let me tie everything together clearly. Eating less makes you fatter when it causes three things: metabolic adaptation, stress hormone elevation, and muscle loss, followed by rebound overeating. That combination is the perfect recipe for getting stuck and regaining. But here's the key question: how do you prevent your body from entering that danger mode in the first place? And now we arrive at the most important part of the video. This is the principle I told you to wait for. If you understand this one idea, dieting becomes simpler, and you stop repeating the same cycle. Here it is. Your body only lets fat go when it feels safe. That's it. When the body feels safe, eating less leads to fat loss. When the body feels threatened, eating less leads to conservation. Safety comes from signals like adequate sleep, adequate protein, manageable stress, training that you can recover from, and a deficit that isn't extreme. It also comes from taking strategic maintenance phases instead of dieting nonstop. So the solution isn't eat less and less forever. The solution is create a sustainable deficit, protect muscle with protein and strength training, reduce stress, sleep properly, and use maintenance phases so your metabolism and hormones can recover. That approach feels less dramatic, but it produces results that actually last. If this video helped you understand why eating less has been making things worse instead of better, like the video so more people can see it. Subscribe if you want practical health content that focuses on long-term results, not quick fixes. And comment below. What have you tried so far that didn't work, even though you were doing your best?